welcome Vinny. Vinny is a client of mine. Just to give you some context, he's a freelancer, kind of turning towards the agency ground, and he can explain that better than myself. But he runs Facebook ads, does landing pages, kind of those type of sorts of things. So I kind of just want to give you the floor. You're one of my clients, so what was it like? Kind of like why did you even decide to work with me in the first place? And just give them some context as to what you do, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah. So why I decided to work with you in the first place? One, I saw you winning on Twitter and I was like, holy shit, this kid is winning every single day. And two, you put me in a group full of other guys that are winning. And that to me was a very valuable network. And you sent me a message, you're like, hey, I have an even more valuable network where we have other guys doing big time sales and I want to bring you in. And for me, I was already sold because of what I saw from Twitter. So that was why I chose to work with you. And who I am, my name is Vinny Dominguez. I wouldn't say I'm an agency. I'm like a freelancer, right? I take on jobs because I like the people I like to work with. I like to work with very specific people. I run Facebook ads. I create landing pages. I do email marketing. I also have two of my own e-commerce stores.
Okay, cool. And you work more specifically with like SaaS companies, correct?
Yeah, I do. I work more specifically towards SaaS companies, but I do work with some e-commerce companies because I do have previous experience with e-commerce companies as well.
Okay, gotcha. Super cool. So like, you've been through my stuff. We've been working together for 2 months now. So just give me honest feedback on what that experience has been like if it has helped and how it has helped if it has, and just kind of give me that, I guess.
Yeah. So first thing I want to talk about right off the bat is the mock calls. All right. Look, if anybody is thinking about working with Garrett, the mock calls are absolutely insane. One, you have a bigger crowd than you're used to. Usually the calls are 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, but you have more people in those mock calls, which brings a lot more pressure, which really makes you have to refine your game. And that added pressure has really helped me because now when I hop on a call 1-on-1, I'm fast, I'm witty, I'm clear because I'm like, I don't have all this pressure of 3 or 4 other people watching me, watching my every move, watching my every mistake. And also what we talked about a lot, Garrett, you and I, even on one-on-ones, is for you to mimic some of my worst calls that I've had. And since we had those recordings and we were able to talk about them, you were able to mimic that in a mock call and give me that same feeling and allow for me to address that feeling, internalize it, and then make and bring it out and actually win and get clients when that happens and learn how to go through that process. So that's one of my favorite things. Even though I'm more nervous sometimes to hop on a mock call than I am working, get up and call the client. And but honestly, it's great practice. And getting those reps in is something that every type of person that wants to grow needs to get reps in. So these mock calls are great.
Yeah, because and I make those mock calls hard because if you can do that, then once you got an actual sales call, you're like, that's it. Like this is a breeze. Like that's the goal. So let's make this hard, give you challenges, give you tough objections. So then the actual sales calls are a breeze. And you can make mistakes when it's a mock call because it's a mock call. That's what it's for. But super cool because I know a few things, especially with those like tougher prospects, was like a lot of the deals that you had struggles with. These very aggressive guys were just like very straight to the point because you are more so pretty laid back. You're like a talker, like you're a people's person just naturally. So when someone has a different energy, like you had trouble like kind of like the power dynamic. I feel it seemed to kind of be the biggest one, which is like, you're a nice guy, but you also have the authority on the call and kind of be like, hey, I'm in charge here. Like, this is my call. Like, I'm deciding if I should work with you. And I think that like role reversal is kind of what helped you. So, and obviously, money is, up to you to disclose or not disclose, but numbers wise, as far as like deals you've closed, like, did that increase? Like, what does that kind of look like?
Yeah, definitely. So in the month of January, I mean, about a week or two after starting to work with you, after I got the sales script, I had, for that month of January, I got 7K. I made 7K plus an additional 1,000 that came in. So about 8K for just January, which is great. And I'm on track to making up to 10K this month already. So that's in 2 months, man. So we're probably looking at 18.5 probably for the last 2 months, and we've been working together for 2 months, and it's been great. Actually, I had a call. I mean, I've had 2 calls with the same client and same prospect, and the way I was able to handle it, just to just refer back to being the authority and the different power dynamic, is I've really been structuring that in my mind and applying that. And that frame control has helped me out so much, and being able to really dig deep and get to the meat of what I really need to know about the client. So that's what's helped me win all those, win the calls that I've been getting.
Awesome, dude. Super cool. So, and was that, I may be wrong here, was that jump from the month previous? So like December, was there a jump in revenue from December to like January? Because we kind of started working together like kind of into December, I believe.
There was a jump from December to January for sure, but it's also like I would say from November to January, there's a big jump as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Just kind of curious if where that was at. I mean, yeah, I don't want to keep this crazy long, I guess. I appreciate your feedback, and I love to see your progress over these past like couple months. I guess to more specifically, the marketers and kind of like freelancers of the world, like what would you say about working with me? Because I feel like as a freelancer, you have an interesting perspective on sales and that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I think this question for me has a couple of different layers. Would you mind if I broke them down a little bit?
Go for it.
Cool. So for marketers and freelancers, a lot of us, we write copy. What you'll notice is a huge correlation between copy and sales, okay, as marketers straight up. And that to me is so profound. I was talking to my copywriter coach today, and we were talking about that back and forth and the frame control that you have in copy. So for marketers, you can visibly see that when you write it down, and then you can verbally speak it when you actually go on a sales call. If you think about it that way, it's a lot less scary. It's a lot more fun. And as freelancers, we tend to generate our own leads, and we also close our own leads. Majority of us do, right? So having the confidence to not only create a sales page, but transfer that sales page into a verbal sales call is huge for me. It has been absolutely monumental, and that connection has been really good. So for freelancers and marketers, I'd definitely say that the confidence that you bring to the sales call is huge. The energy that you bring to the sales call is huge, and that's something that I was taught and that I learned, because I was thrown into sales, my previous agency, and there are just so many. I had a huge mind shift of my perspective when I started working with you, that now I see. I'm like, oh, that happened,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so that's been huge for me.
Okay, cool, Vinny. Yeah, dude, appreciate your time. And yeah, we'll do one of these in 2-3 months, and I'm sure we'll be even at different metrics. But for real, appreciate your time, and yeah, that's it.